What, space? Damn. You're gonna make space. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like we said, you gotta proactively watch the movie, be able to interpret the movie so that you can get the message that's delivered. I was saying that the majority of white people, they're racist. It's time for us to cut the bullshit, start playing, the nice guy and stuff, because we out here fighting for our survival and we tired of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Where did that come
You know what I'm saying? Because it's true. Because systemic racism is real and it's happening now here. If you see this foreign colonial, attempts that have been made by these, foreign people that come here, because most of the foreign people that come here actually are here to settle and feel comfortable in these landscapes. Because my grandmother, when she was alive, she told my mother that back in the days, they existed in far distant lands. And then when the government came through and other foreign nationals, when they came through, they actually moved them into the slums and confined them into the hoods, confined them into these very subservient places. So it is best, people, to keep in mind, to be vigilant most of the time, be proactive in each and everything that you watch, each and everything that you listen to. Always have a question. I feel like the planet Pluto, right, is around, planet of death, regeneration. Yeah, death, regeneration. Straight up, of course, I know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now the planet Pluto is around. It's going to be around for a couple of years, because now I think a lot of people, there's a consciousness switch into the nations, into the society. A lot of people are beginning to see the bullshit that's happening around. You know what I'm saying?
the fifth dimension?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving into the fifth dimension, right?
Straight up, we are fifth dimensional beings. The thing is that most people are one dimensional. They need to elevate their consciousness to get into that three-dimensional space. Just like when you read a book, it's on three-dimensional, it's on two-dimension. When you read a book, it's on two-dimensional. Yeah, so
Fifth dimension.
when people read a book, they basically take the two-dimensional perspective and form a three-dimensionality out of it, because when you read, you create a 3D picture. So yeah, people have to be vigilant most of the time. Now a lot of people, there's a consciousness awakening. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to pass the mic. There's a consciousness awakening. A lot of people are beginning to question the bullshit. A lot of people, they're beginning to see what's actually happening around the world. Because you know what I'm saying? Like the 10% of the people, now it's like 15% of the people, they're beginning to see what's happening. The 5% knows exactly what's happening. I'm talking about people. And then the rest of the 10%, they still awakening, they still questioning stuff. And the rest of the, let me see, 85% of the people, they sleeping into oblivion. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, do you have any movies that, I don't know, you said you don't watch movies, right? Yeah. You don't know the movie Lucy and stuff? Maybe typical movies to actually, yeah.
I don't know, just to like be funny,
Yeah.
50 of these. 50 of these. You know that movie?
No, I don't know the movie. Tell me about it.
What are these, bro?
These are glasses, sunglasses, bro.
Shades.
Shades. Okay, 50. Oh, nice.
Do you know that movie?
I know the movie.
Now, honestly, like that movie, bro, I know it. Yeah, I'm just joking, man. But like, I know that movie, bro.
Yeah,
What do you think of that movie? Because there's a whole lot of sex that
Whole
goes
lot
on
of-
there, bro. Like, how do you interpret that? Because interpreting that, I feel like it makes a lot of people
Yeah.
naive in terms of like approaching
Yeah.
things, because they start thinking with their genitals and whatever. Never mind, the fun part of it, like using toys and what. But but it's a good movie, Christian Grey. But that's not the movie we should be talking about right now. I know a lot of people will be like immersed in this topic, and
Exactly.
because it involves sex,
Yeah.
But also, like, you shouldn't be like, fucking, we old men now, we can talk about sex anytime, but kids could also be watching it, so we have to be careful. We have to be,
see that.
we have to be careful.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, bro. But what did I want to say also?
Yeah.
What movie? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Marvel comics, yeah.
Before you came here, bro, you said you came late, a bit late,
Yeah,
because you were held up,
Yeah.
and you said you Peter Parker because you late. So
Late, bro.
you always late.
I'm always-
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, Peter Parker, fella, he's always late.
He's always late, bro.
Yeah, he's always
Literally,
late,
always
but he saves the day when he arrives. Nah?
yeah, yeah.
And Konjo, what's the name of his girlfriend?
It was Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. It's Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, yeah. That's how they do, right?
Mary Jane, where are you? Where's Mary Jane right now? When we need Mary Jane, Mary Jane. Yeah, bro. But like Spider-Man is like as a childhood favorite, bro.
Yeah.
For me, like childhood favorite movie.
Mhm.
I remember my mom bought me when I was young, like when I was small, a Spider-Man like
Mhm.
doll. It's a doll, almost. A Spider-Man Bobby. But I still have that. It's so precious. I even passed it on to my niece.
Mhm.
Now my niece, she's a girl, by the way. She still like plays with
Straight
it. I think she doesn't play with it now. She's a bit older, but
Yeah.
it'll keep getting passed on to the next generation.
Exactly.
And also it like made you like webs, because Spider-Man, like webs are like used to your advantage.
Mhm.
But it's crazy, it's ironic because in real life webs actually irritate you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually the narrative is that you have to be a spider.
Mhm.
If you're a spider, it works for you. You can like
Yeah. Can work.
maneuver, very well,
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, that's like the movie I can think of. Is there any other movie you can think of? Are there any other movie y'all can think of?
Yeah,
You can tell us in the comment section what's one of your favorite one of your favorite movies.
Talk about, yeah.
Yeah. Next movie, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Men in Black, since we're wearing
Men in
shades.
Black. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. First, let's interpret the movies that we just spoke about recently. You said 50 Shades of Grey. I have to rewatch that movie because I've once watched the movie, right? What I noticed on that movie, I have to rewatch it. The thing is that the reason why I'm saying that I have to rewatch the movie, right? Is because I have to have like the proper interpretation of the movie so that I can be able to give like a univariate analysis on it. So that movie 50 Shades of Grey is just typical passionate love that white people portray, that most black people desire, because you know that we as people, obviously we've lost our cultural roots. So when people look at that, they desire to have a relationship like that. But then typical white people type shit, you know what I'm saying? Because thinking of straps and all of that. So yeah, speaking of Spider-Man, I was about to say this, no, go ahead.
There was also a girl like years ago that was like, I'll let you handcuff me. She wanted me to handcuff her, bro. That was crazy. But it was like years ago. Years ago. I did not do it though. I did not do it, but she offered me.
Oh man, I'm about to tell a crazy story. Oh man, speaking of cuffing, you just actually triggered a memory of this ex of mine. You know what I'm saying? There was one night, me and her were spending the night. We're doing typical lovey-dovey type ish. So I brought her a chocolate. She started, snapping the chocolate, feeding the chocolate, to me. I was eating it. I was like, oh, that's sexy, babe. Thank you. And then when she went at home, right, I was actually accompanying her to her crib. So she took out of her chain, she was wearing a chain like around her neck. And then she took that, she actually wrapped it around my hand. She was like, I want us to do this when we are alone. I was like, okay, what are you doing now? I was like, it's at night, you have me on chains and stuff. I was like, all right, cool. When we, secretly, and when we privately having our own, occupation, we can do this. She put the chain around my hand. She was like, yeah, I want you to do this and that, that typical shit. And so I wanted to say,
she cuffed you.
Yeah, like she didn't. She cuffed me. She put the chain. I can't say cuff because handcuffs.
She cuffed you, bro.
Yeah. She put the. You know what she said? I'm just gonna be real. She cuffed me, and then she was holding a chain, right? She cuffed me, and she was like, "Are you my dog?" She said that. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Are you my dog?" Fuck. No. She asked me a question. I had to respond to her question. She was like, "Are you my dog?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm your dog." That's what I said to her, you know what I'm saying? And she started, you know what I'm saying, getting turned on and stuff. She's like, "Oh yes, this is what I want." I'm like, "Okay, cool. We're gonna role play privately." You know what I'm saying? Because we're on the street right now. The neighbors might be watching. We might be opening, you know, like a scene for Leon Schuster's. Might be watching us and stuff. Yeah, I wanted to get on the movie Spider-Man, man. Like Spider-Man, basically what they telling you there. Yeah.
From 50 Shades of handcuffing to
But we already inserted enough there, you know. I think people can actually marinate on
we
that.
inserted enough.
Yeah, we inserted enough. People are gonna grasp on that, bro. So on Spider-Man, what I'm saying is that like what they basically showing you that you as a person have your own unique superpower, even if your power could have an affinity with the next person. What they're showing you is that in life, you know what I'm saying, you get to have like your power, you get to explore your power because your power actually comes from dark places. And actually the Marvel comics are revealing our African deities because all if you look at the Marvel comics, bro, they basically revealing like the African deities. Something that is called the Orishas. I'm sure you can look it up. So yeah, the Orishas are basically, you know what I'm saying. You are born under a particular Orisha. You have your own superpower. So what they're telling you there, Spider-Man, you know, he has a life. This guy in the mask, he goes to work. You know, he's struggling. He does his stuff. He has this girl. He has this girl that he's actually attracted to, and he wants this girl in his life. So he has enemies. He has to actually hide the fact that people to know him personally who he is because he's Peter Parker. You know, Peter Parker and Spider-Man are two different people. So Peter Parker has this life and he has to not show that he's Spider-Man. He has to disguise the fact that he's Spider-Man. So that's why he's wearing a mask. So when I was speaking about the Orishas, when you look at Iron Man, that's basically Ogun, the god of metal, the god of war. So Ogun, yeah, in African or Orisha, and the Orisha principles. Ogun's the god of war, the god of metal. So basically, Ogun deals in military. He deals with technological advancement. So that's Ogun. When you look at Thor, he is Shango, the god of lightning, right? So Shango has this.
I
Yeah, they hide these Orishas into these Marvel comics.
just tell us.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that people need to be proactively looking at movies to actually directly receive the message because there's a message embedded into the movie. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the movie, man, you gotta be open minded and see the message that's given. So when you look at Thor, Thor is the god of lightning. You know what I'm saying? Thor deals with the potency of testosterone, deals with the potency of masculinity. Because when you see Thor, Thor is this competitive. You know, he fights when it's necessary. He's the warrior king. You know what I'm saying? So Ogun is the older brother. Let me say Iron Man is the older brother of Thor. So Ogun is basically the older brother of Shango. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go deeper into that next time to actually talk about the Orisha practically. You know what I'm saying? Practically. So this is the interpretation of the movies that we're speaking about. You know.
Good, bro. Actually, I actually learned something, and I hope everyone watching also learned something because it's very important for us to know, a lot of African, creatives and African like origins, bro. And I think we also should like resort to Credo Muta. I think Credo Muta and also like if you watch a lot of his content, which we all should, it carries a lot of weight. It carries a lot of like substantiality, bro. Substance, is it substantiality? Am I right? I don't know, but in my world, it's that, bro.
True.
But yeah, I think we need to unpack it a little more because I did not know. You said it's the Orish,
The Orishas.
the Orishas. That's like yeah, bro. That's interesting. That is crazy.
Dude. Like Marvel Comics actually, like I told you, Marvel Comics are basically exposing the African deities, the African principles. Even when you go into Egypt, those ancient deities there that are encrypted into the walls. So they basically showing you the superpowers that we as a society are oblivious of, because each and every person possess a particular your superpower could be you're a social butterfly. Your superpower could be that you craft mad buildings, you strong, you're a UFC fighter. So each and every person has a particular superpower. This is why they speak about these. When you look at Superman, when you see Superman, this is an actual pyramid that is actually turned upside down, and the ass is the snake within the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? So when you see the ass, the snake is basically, you can even see it on the ambulance. You see that caduceus that does this. Yeah, that basically signifies healing. This is why they put it on the ambulance. When you see that snake, it's intertwining, two snakes that are intertwining to each other.
Yeah, and a lot of people look at snakes as like, evil creatures, unwanted species, and I think we all can learn, we all can learn from like snake energies. Like if you study the behavior of a snake, I think a lot of people will learn a lot, because there's a story like, where um, shout out to Shadguru, the old guru, he was really taking one, out in a forest, and when his ass, a lot of snakes there, we just drawn to that level of like peace, bro. But when you sit, you just like terrified. Yeah, but anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I don't know what to say. I'd rather wait for Sky, because he's running the show. I'm listening to him. I'm just astonished and stunned by the jewels that he's dropping. But yeah, content creation is really important. Like, as you just witnessed, just learned things that I thought I knew. When you grow up and you just start unraveling things, when you start becoming conscious, there's things that and there's some things that you forget, that you should not forget, because they actually authentic to your true origins, and that is important, like for yourself growing, to keep like learning about yourself and your true roots, your real roots.
Tell me more about the snake. What is it that you saw in Sadhguru?
Yeah, no, like Sadhguru was just saying, snakes have like a sort of like a healing energy in it.
Exactly.
Because the energy of a snake is the most peaceful energy, the most healing energy that you can ever find. Because snake only maneuvers, goes to where it feels that it needs to go. That's how it operates. It goes where it needs to go. It doesn't see properly. Snakes don't like have a proper vision. They only go where they feel is safe. So yeah, like we can learn a lot from snakes. But because we grew up separate, segregated from snakes, obviously it's common for people to be terrified of snakes, bro. But like, I think we should like be more in tune with nature, not just with snakes, but just nature, like trees.
Nature itself.
Like trees, like it would be fantastic if in the townships, more townships like planted more trees, because they have a lot of impact on like, the environment, and they also are wealth. If trees are wealth, like just plants in general, bro. Yeah.
Crazy. Yes, snakes actually signify the healing energy. This is why, like I told you, you see the caduceus into the ambulance, two snakes that are intertwining towards each other. So the snake and a fact about a snake, it does not have ears, it does not hear, it basically feels. It feels. So it has like incredible incredible ability of sensing things around it.
That's what I actually meant. It has a non-color vision and no ears.
And when you look at like snakes, cats, most of the reptiles, snake, cats, lizard, crocodiles, when you look at these species, they operate within a different dimension. This is why they say a cat has 9 lives, bro, because a cat basically can see things that we cannot see. You know what I'm saying? Like spirits around, this and that. A lot of people may think that we're crazy, because it's funny, because a lot of people can share this information. I don't want to reverberate into the conscious community, because there's also personal comparisons, this and that, but this is the information that needs to be out there. Like you said, we need to be in tune with nature. You need to know what snakes represents. Basically, each and every animal represents a principle. this is why when you look at the scribes into the Egypt, when you look at these carvings into the Egypts, there are people who have like a head of an ibis, a head of this, you know what I'm saying, like head of different animals like the lion and stuff. So snakes are very devious creatures, you know what I'm saying. So people should, yeah, pay attention to these things. So like we said, like just like I said, that we need to be proactively looking at movies with an open eye. We need to be, because here's how we dealt with things as African people. We looked at things. We never actually look at something and gave it a name. We dealt with intuition towards nature. You know what I'm saying? We were very courteous towards nature because we never basically looked at something and gave it a name. What we basically did was we waited until something represented itself to us. So a white person could look at a tree, you could see roots, stem, branches, leaves, but we as Africans can see the spiritual side of the tree. The names that we have, just like you see the Zulu language, Sotho language, these African languages, the names that we got are names that actually the planet gave to us to name things. So we never came with the name for things. So when you look at like a tree, in Zulu we call it Ihlahla. And when you listen to the sound frequency of Ihlahla, how in its nature, it has like a sound, you know what I'm saying. So that sound basically had, this language came from the resonance of the earth speaking to us, and we name things, you know what I'm saying. So we deal with intuition to look at things. So when you want to look at something, if you're looking for information, you don't basically force to try and look at it. You don't look at what it is. You look at what it is not, and whatever that it is will prove to self towards you, will reveal itself towards you. So yeah, because I don't want us to be changing the goalposts. So yeah, in movies, bro, movies. Don't look at a movie. Don't look at a movie in an entertainment. Don't look at the movie to enjoy what's happening on the screen, right? Take a notepad. This is what I do when I look at a movie. Is either I take a notepad or I record. You know what I'm saying? Because I write notes down. Because these people, yeah, very analytic. Because most white people, you know what I'm saying, have this information about us, but we have like little information. They know more. They know more. Yeah. It's getting very tired. Yeah.
Bro, I couldn't help but notice here.
Yeah.
The list came out. You know, the list came out.
That is my bio right there.
Nah, listen. So it's Supreme Excellence Word War. That's the battle rap. That's the battle rap show that Sky is gonna be battling at. Hosted by Override. Shout out to Override. Shout out to Hip Hop on the Grind. Here's the fixtures, I guess. The matches. So it's Lord Legend versus Gustavo.
Yeah.
Rapture versus Don X. Courage versus Gawo MC. And last but definitely not least, bro. Like, are you supposed to be the main event? Because I see, you guys are like at the end.
Yeah.
So it's the main event, bro.
Exactly.
So your opponent is Douglas Trashboat. Versus Black Sky. You'll catch him on the 30th of July in Marshalltown. If ever you able to make it.
And he's going to be posting some of the battles that I've had in the previous and the upcoming battles. He's going to be posting maybe shorts. He's going to put it into his YouTube account, so check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely post, bro. I have to. Black Sky, man. Man, bro.
I won't just end in battles because I'm interested into the nature of debating, but then like based on facts, because truth needs to be out there. So we're gonna have debate as well. So
yeah, for sure.
For that, bro.
Yeah, for sure, because you definitely are well spoken. You're not just a rapper, bro.
Yeah.
You're well spoken. You're well versed in terms of knowledge, and you're knowledgeable, bro. And you're intelligent.
You know what I want us to do, because this is us like speaking now. We're gonna deal with practicality of things. We're gonna have like practical contents. We're gonna have practical, like videos now, whereby we're actually you know what I'm saying, give out like information. Maybe, let me say, for example, we're gonna have, maybe let's say we're gonna talk about, star signs and stuff. I know a lot of people actually relegate that and actually detract that to say, no, that's just woke stuff, this and that. No, a lot of people need to know about these things. You need to consult, your prophets. You need to consult your sangomas. You need to know these things. So we're gonna talk about astrology. We're gonna have practicality of things. So yeah. And yeah, we're gonna invite some of the people who come from university, colleges. We're gonna have like debates. We're gonna talk, you know what I'm saying, about the bureaucracy and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. This is gonna be very, very interesting. So you guys tune in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, check this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you should. Yeah. Gotta close it. Yeah, bro. You the one who's gotta close it. Yo, okay, before I close it, I would like to say I'll stick a broomstick in somebody's. I'm not gonna say that, but we're gonna come back the next time.
Give a young teacher.
I ain't even got no words, bro. I'm like a nerd. I even got no words. I'm like a nerd. I was looking at this girl. I was thinking about under her skirt, but I flip it over. I'm not absurd, but I'm very courteous. Black sky still on top. Still, I'm on the block. They're shooting with the clock. I didn't even get no fucking words. I told you before. A metaphor. I scratch your face with my claws and I punch you. I break your jaws. I crumble and shake the ground just like the dinosaur. I'm about to go back home and open my door, and maybe I'm gonna eat my meal into the floor.
Fuck, that was like laid back, but you'd murder any anyone we can find out here somewhere, just by like that young teaser. Spontaneous act, but nonetheless, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone. Hopefully you were entertained by our craziness and our consciousness and diversity. Thank you for tuning in again. We back again with our consistent content, and we will stay consistent, and we will stay on top of our games because we are the best.
Yeah, and put the classes like us to prevent the radiations of the matrix from controlling your mind.
Yes, sir. So from me to Kula for the Black Sky, we are out. This is what they do, Moscow Matrix.
Yeah, this is preventing the bullets.